You know, the funny thing is, it's like you visualize that small. That's pretty big.
I think it's tape. All right, here we go, Michael. Here we go. All right, good. Nice step forward.
Welcome back to the channel.
Okay, keep going.
Here for Stream, new company for me. I'm about to attempt this thing that has to do with line. We'll see if I can do it before everybody else.
I'm going to take you over. You're our leader all the time.
All right, I want Shirley to do it. All right.
Shimmy over to the left a little bit, both of them. There you go. And now, go a little bit.
So basically the object is to walk from here,
Slowly.
step over that, step over that, make a left,
Okay.
and go that
Now
way.
straight.
But being
Just
blindfolded.
out of bounds. Back up.
This is Executive Director Michael J. Lerman.
Come on now.
All right, you ready? Here's the 30-day game plan. Here we go. I got a lot of plan now. All right.
You ready?
You ready?
Yep.
Both feet together. We're going to shimmy straight.
The other together.
There you go. Right, stop. That was a big shimmy, but that was okay. Now, I want you to shimmy just a tiny bit more. Just a little step. Tiny bit step. Tiny bit. Okay, that's a big step. That's okay. You know, the communication's working somehow. So you're going to have another big step here. So you're going to take another big step. Good. Right there. All right, now stay still.
That almost. The bar's right there.
A little high, but not
Sorry.
far. Little step. Good, right? Okay. Listen. Wow. He's doing it without me.
He's really
This
blind.
guy's over towards me.
That's how he's doing it. He knows how
Right
to do
there.
it.
You got a red thing. You want to go on top. Yep. Jump right over the top.
He knows what he's doing.
I mean, that's
He's on one.
And you just did that the best.
I had to turn a different way so that we'd be able to get it.
Run right through. Don't even worry about the landmine. Just go. Ready? Go. All right. Go, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
How do you do
Huh?
that? The guys are
He did a great job. He did. You did a great job.
Yeah. A little bit more.
That was excellent.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
It was good.
Oh, it's done. All right, ready? This is an associate
go
that's
get my
not
hat?
doing anything, right? You're going to jump right over him. You just keep going right past him. Jump. Yeah.
Shimmy to the left.
Where's your glasses?
They're in my bag.
Watch her. Good. Want me to get her?
I'll get her.
All right. Now shimmy forward. Move your feet to the right. A little bit more. A little bit more. Now lift up. Go over that next red ball.
Move it in. There you go.
Right foot first. There you go. Perfect.
No, step over that.
Perfect. All right.
Yep, over again. The other one. Good, you're good. You're in. You got it. There you
I'm
are.
done. Forward a little bit.
She said, I'm
Right.
done.
Go to your right.
I know.
Go to your right.
Oh, yeah, it is.
All right, shimmy forward. All right, now lift up over that green bar. Don't try to jump, just use one at a time.
She said, don't try to jump. Yeah, don't do that.
There you go. Now turn to a 90-degree angle. There you go. Now come straight. Are you peeking? We need honesty here. Eyes closed.
Is there a hole in that?
Yeah. All right, go straight, straight, shimmy, shimmy. Now
She's
jump,
trying-
jump,
she's trying to
jump,
beat
jump,
your
jump,
score.
jump, 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 jump.
My neck's killing me. That was a good one. That's not throwing a ball in.
Business, help each other out. help others, pick up the phone, talk to whoever you have to talk to encourage them. And believe it or not, when you're talking to other people and you're encouraging them, what happens? You actually encourage yourself. So it's just quite amazing. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jeffrey Steer. But again, guys, it was a great time, and I'll let Jeff take it from here.
So really quick, I just wanted to start by thanking the people who made this event possible. Obviously, Duke and all of the Zone Sports Academy. Give it up for Duke and all. And these events, things like this, do cost money, and so I want to also give it up for all the senior directors and myself and Michael J. Who paid for this event to make this event a thing for everybody to be a part of, where it didn't have to come out of your pockets. And also, it's mentioned Manny, the one who sponsored me in the business, and Rich, the one who sponsored him, also contributed to make this event happen, even though they couldn't be here, which is super cool. So round of applause for everybody. So I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I do want to just touch on a couple things. The first thing I found when I set this event up, I do have to give a shout out to Beverly as well. She came to me with this idea, and I kind of turned it down a little bit at first, not because I didn't think it was a good idea. I'm like, oh, we're so busy, we got to do this, and we got to go out and show the business, and we got to get, but sometimes you just have to, take a second to just look around and be like, hey, we built this whole thing. This idea started with Chris and I, 5.5 years ago, and we introduced it to somebody, and the idea grew, and this team is a result of all of that effort over the last 5.5 years. And sometimes you just got to get together and do something like this, because the money's great, nobody's giving it back, the cars are great, and the trips and all that stuff that we get as a perk of building this business. But as Michael J. said, the culture is what keeps people here. Because you'll see a lot of teams throughout the country. You ever been to an event, you see somebody, and you go to the next event, and you never see them again? You're like, where did they go? And that happens on our team too, but the players, the real ones, everybody here, you're always there. You're always at the events. People start to see you, they recognize you, and then guess what? You show up as a regional director, and the next time you show up, you're a managing director. If everybody's wondering why, it's because you stuck together. If anybody saw my training for the MDs and above at Ignition, this is the stuff I said is what keeps people long enough to develop them into the leaders they need to be in this business, because everybody in here comes from someplace different. Sales background, working at a department store, a nurse, somebody in finance, somebody in, all over different walks of life. So when you come to this business, we're not all ready to, make it happen right away. And so coming to this stuff is what keeps us all going. And then you also realize that, yes, you get into this business for the money, but I had a good time. Anybody have a good time?
Hell yeah!
That for the people that are out there seeing what we do, I hope some of you are taking some pictures, and I hope that some of you will share those pictures on social media, because people aren't attracted to trainings. As exciting as we might think they are, everyone on Facebook is looking, they're going, on Saturday they're at a training, another training, but how many people do you know in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s are running around playing dodgeball? None. And so everybody out in social media land is going, I got to get a piece of whatever. I know. I got to take whatever they're taking, drink whatever they're drinking. Because they're drinking the Kool-Aid, right? But because we're out here playing dodgeball on a Friday night with a whole group of people, and the cool part is we're all making money in the process. And I love that. So I just want to make a couple of other quick announcements. One, I want to recognize Beverly, and you can do it from your seat. Beverly hit the 300 club. The 300 club, it's funny, Beverly texted me, or called me yesterday, I think it was. Oh my God, I can't take it. Her car broke down on the side of the road and overheated. So she had 2 or 3 cars. The first one got totaled. The other one has no air conditioning. This one now overheated on the side of the road. She goes, God, just give me the new car already. So the funny thing is she earned the car for another year and hasn't even gotten it this year. So once she does get it, she'll have it for the next 2 years, which is awesome. Earned herself another all-inclusive, all-expense-paid vacation to somewhere next year. So we get Mexico this year and Lord knows where. So that's a huge accomplishment. Michael J. has already hit the 300 club. Lori and Frank, you're over 200. over 200. Are over 150, 160, somewhere in that area. We'll go 150. 150, right? So halfway there, right? And what I think is really cool, if you look at their story last year, you know, you guys raced to 300 at like December 29th. I mean, it was like right at the end. So this year, if you look at the growth, I mean, you're on track to hit it about 6 months early, which is awesome. We have a few other people that are making a run for it. Shirley, you're over 100 already, right? Close to 100. And you've been in the business for 3.5 months. And so I guess the reason I mentioned some of that is some of them are getting there in 3.5 months, a third of the way. Some of them have been in the business a year, some in the business 2 years, 3. Everybody has their own story, right? Everybody has their own thing, you know. And I would say when we left Ignition in Texas, everyone's all fired up, ready to take over the world. And then we come home and the world's like, you know, sit down. You know, don't bring that Kool-Aid here. But here's the thing. You all said, I mean, not everyone was at Ignition, but the ones who were, how many were there? Raise your hand. Yeah, awesome. So the ones that were there said, you know, when I get home, I'm just kicking this thing into another gear, another level. And I see some have. I mean, Lori and Frank and Antonio, these guys are like on fire right now since they got back. You can see that on Team Dream every day. Something's happening. Fred's team's growing leaps and bounds. 100 personal customers today for Fred. So here's what I'll say. Tuesday night, we have All City in Princeton. For all of you that are coming, it's the same corner of Ridge Road and Route 1 that we had the last All City. Those are great to come and be a part of it, just to, you know, kind of feed off the energy and stuff. But the real purpose of those events is to bring somebody with you. And it's hard to get somebody to come with you if you haven't been showing people the business, right? Because it's tough to just say, hey, I want you to come to this thing on a Tuesday night out of the blue, and, you know. So we have a couple days till Tuesday. Get a few more people in front of this business between now and Tuesday, and then they say, well, I'm interested, I'd like to learn more. And you say, well, great, because we have an event on Tuesday night in Princeton. And use that. It's every other month, right? So those events are put there, because I've heard a lot of people say, oh, Stream has so much stuff going on. Well, go to what you can. But whatever you're going to go to, try your best to bring somebody. Or if you don't bring a guest, at least bring someone new from your team with you so they can experience some of that excitement and that energy. Also, May 18th is a Saturday in King of Prussia. Number 3 incomer earner Randy Hedge, the cowboy. Some of you heard him speak in Manville. Some of you heard him at the Stream University last weekend. I've been in this business 5.5 years, and I've only ever heard him speak in 20-minute little segments. And it's very joke-heavy, and you know, he helps you learn through laughing. But he's going to be there, I think, 9 to 1 or 9 to something, and it's all him, other than 30 minutes of one little segment, right? So you're going to get, you know, pretty high-level training from him. He and I spoke. He's going to talk about closing. He's going to talk about inviting. He's going to talk about things that he actually did to build his business to something like, I don't think he has like 75 or 85,000 associates on his team that are out there offering our services across the country. So definitely check that out as well. SDs in here. I have been mentioning and talking about an ED boot camp. I am going to plan that. I didn't want, there was so much stuff going on. I didn't want to lose people to there being so much. So in May, I'm going to plan that, basically really in-depth for all the SDs on getting to ED. We'll look at your businesses, because there aren't that many of you. We can really kind of deep dive more on each person, and Michael J is going to help me with that. I sort of didn't even ask him, but he's helping me with it. But bottom line, guys, there are a lot of people that didn't come tonight because they didn't have the time. They didn't think it was important, and they didn't think, you know, I was just at an event the other day, or I worked all day, or whatever, but you guys came. And the other people, 2 things. One, they're going to want to know what was going on here when they see all the pictures. And then you got to tell them, man, the next time we have an event like this, you got to be there. Because we have a lot of people on our team that could have all been a part of this. The next event we do, why not have 100? You know, we had probably 35 or so. Why not have 100? Now, Duke might be looking at me, 100. But, you know, we'll find room for him somewhere. You know, we'll go into a big open field. We'll get Giant Stadium. We'll sell it out. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for making it out on a Friday night. I hope you guys had a good time. And let's just take the energy, the excitement, and all that camaraderie, all that stuff we just worked on, and let's take it out there. And I'll end by asking a question, and I do want some answers. What was the hardest part about any of the activities you did? Right, just anybody, just a quick raise of a hand. What was the hardest part? What did you struggle with the most?
Getting
Jessica?
everybody to work. Like everyone to make the same movements at the same time. It was very difficult to get everyone together.
Getting everybody.
It's hard.
So there's a reason I ask that, and this is how I'm gonna end it. It's a stupid ball, and it's supposed to go down. And where does it go?
Oh.
And it's so simple. That's our business, right? The hardest part of our business is getting people to listen and follow a few simple instructions. The reason people are wondering, and I'm going to put Beverly out here on the spot a second. People are wondering how Beverly's doing. I know they are. They're asking. People are asking me. People aren't asking me, but they're thinking it. How the hell is Beverly doing it? Because if anybody's talked to Beverly about the comp plan, that conversation doesn't go very far.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, it doesn't go very far. She doesn't understand those things. But what she understands is the simple little things. And she just teaches people those simple little things. And you say, well, what's next? The simple little things. It's just, and then what's next? Well, you teach somebody else the simple little things. You know, she's going out to Ohio next week by herself. Which is a huge accomplishment. Getting her out to Ohio by herself. Fred's been building a team out there, and Bev's going to go work with those people. But you know what she's going to do when she gets out there? The simple little things. She's just going to, teach her people to do this. Because everybody out, they're doing this. So when you leave here and you work with your new associates, that little checklist, just get them qualified with their first couple of customers, and then go teach them how to teach 2 people to go get simple little things, and you'll have all the success you want in this business. Thanks so much. Let's go out and get it.